With unemployment benefits set to expire at the end of the month, for many, what options are available for Montanans? Plus, state revenue officials talk about changes in tax collecting since the pandemic began. And later, one Montana airport is taking off with new service. We'll explain.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
Good evening and thanks for making MTN part of your night. I'm Tim McGonigal. We begin again with the increasing number of coronavirus cases in Montana. This morning, the state reported 127 new cases since yesterday. That sets a new record. And there are also 3 more deaths to report tonight. That brings the state total to 29. One of the deaths is in Ravalli County. The other 2 are in Yellowstone at the Canyon Creek Memory Care Center. As of this afternoon, 19 more people associated with that facility have tested positive, bringing the total number of cases there to 91, 36 employees and 55 residents. And statewide, there are currently 667 active cases in Montana. Well, a new mission, Mask Up Montana, is an effort to limit the spread of COVID. The Montana Hospital Association and the Department of Commerce are shipping 45,000 masks to 25 communities. They're going to visitor tourism centers and will be available to tourists for free. Officials hope the message "Montanans wear masks and you should too" will get across to visitors. Meanwhile, researchers are trying to find out why men are more than twice as likely as women to die from coronavirus. Experts say the gender gap is similar to what we've noticed with the flu and hepatitis. Women tend to recover much faster and generally have strong immune responses. Doctors are zoning in on the X chromosome, which carries genes that are linked to immunity. Women have 2 X chromosomes. Men have only 1. Doctors are also looking at hormones like estrogen, testosterone, and progesterone. Well, at the end of the month, unemployment benefits are set to change for millions of Americans, including 43,000 Montanans. MTN's John Riley has more.
Americans who lost their jobs because of the coronavirus pandemic have been able to collect an extra $600 in weekly federal unemployment benefits in addition to the amount they receive from the state. However, the federal pandemic unemployment compensation benefit is expected to sunset later this month.
If the ASPUC expires on schedule, whatever they're getting now would be $600 less.
The amount of money Montanans receive through unemployment insurance varies on a case-to-case basis. For most Montanans, the change will mean they'll receive less than half they've been getting each week since April. Unemployment insurance and the federal benefit have been a lifeline for many families, but was never intended to be a permanent solution.
The intent of unemployment insurance is temporary assistance when someone's out of work through no fault of their own. But it is temporary assistance. It is finite. It doesn't go on forever.
There are options for those facing unemployment, though. There are nearly 700 jobs currently available in the Helena area, and some are designed to let people work from home. Helena Job Service says many employers are desperate to hire workers to fill positions.
It's been difficult for them, and of course it was difficult before the pandemic hit, but yes, there still is a workforce shortage, so it's a great time to be a job seeker.
Reporting from Helena, John Riley, MTN News.
Since the peak of claims during the week ending April 18th, over 33,000 Montanans have gone back to work. Job Service can help people with their resumes, connect them with an employer, and get them set up for job training. The Job Service office is closed to the public, but staff say they can help people over the phone. Well, progress tonight for hemp producers in Montana. The Financial Crimes Enforcement Network has updated its guidance to expand financial services available for hemp businesses. U.S. Senator John Tester, who's been pushing for this, says, quote, Montana hemp farmers have been subject to unfair bureaucratic red tape that has prevented them from accessing the financial services they need to thrive. This means banks and credit unions can now treat hemp producers like the legal businesses they are. Well, 3 months after the income tax filing deadline was pushed back due to COVID-19, we're approaching the new deadline of Wednesday, July 15th. MTN's Jonathan Ambarian talked to the State Department of Revenue about how the pandemic has changed this filing season.
When the federal government decided in March to delay the April 15th deadline for filing income tax returns, Montana Department of Revenue leaders say they essentially had to do the same, since the 2 returns are so closely linked.
I think a lot of people appreciated that break just to not have to worry about that one thing until later.
Now we are days away from the updated filing deadline. Sanjay Talwani with the Department of Revenue estimates 10 to 20,000 Montanans still haven't submitted their returns. He says that's about the same number of last-minute filers they'd expect to see in other years.
There's still a bunch of people out there who haven't done it for whatever, and a lot of those people are due refunds, and for various reasons they just haven't gotten to it yet.
The COVID-19 pandemic meant some changes in how the department processes returns. They delayed hiring temporary staff 3 months to fit the new filing period. They also had to reorganize the processing teams, having some employees work from home and allowing for more distancing. Talwani says they saw a temporary delay in processing paper returns, but they've actually gotten refunds out quicker than previous years for electronic returns.
We always encourage people to file electronically. It's always faster, safer, more secure, and you'll get your refund more quickly. That turned out to be especially true this year.
With many Montanans facing difficult circumstances this year, Revenue is encouraging those having trouble paying to contact them about payment plans. The department is also giving some leeway for people already on plans.
We're always willing to work with people, but it's important that they come to us. Don't just not file or don't file falsely.
In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
The Department of Revenue has introduced a new online filing option this year called MT Quick File. It's open to people filing simple returns, meaning they were full-time Montana residents, are taking the standard deduction, and are not claiming tax credits.
For the first time inside security, the Helena Regional Airport has a full sit-down bar.
Time you fly in or out of the Helena Regional Airport, you'll notice things might look a little different, a lot different actually. Construction is finished on the remodeling of the inside of the airport terminals, and you now have the option for food and drink once you've passed security. The owners of the Smoke Jumper Station have added Gateside Cafe. Since flight traffic is down 80%, they're only serving grab-and-go options right now. But owners Paul Mabey says once foot traffic inside the airport picks back up again, they'll serve all kinds of options.
Concept up there with artisanal pizzas, homemade sandwiches featuring local ingredients, craft cocktails, featuring Gulch distillers and local beers, Blackfoot Brewing Company and 10 Mile and Lewis and Clark, and really trying to showcase the best that Helena has to offer.
Maybe says later on down the road, as the state moves into more phased reopening, he has other progressive ideas for the space in the airport. Well, we had some rain earlier today, but the sun came out, making for a nice summer day. For a look at our first forecast, we send it over to Elizabeth.
All right,
Copeland.
so another blue day out there after those showers passed through early this morning. The showers have moved out now, at least of central Montana. They're still holding steady in eastern Montana, but behind those showers, expect more blue skies, just like at our Opportunity Bank ICAM and Helena this afternoon, where those blue skies are shining bright above. So we're still going to track a couple more showers in the forecast later on this evening for eastern Montana, where it's just slightly cooler there. Those showers continue to kick off to the east, 70s in the northeast corner, while we hold steady closer to the 80-degree mark in north central Montana. But overall, we're going to still see those temperatures drop tonight, and then another big warm up is in store for us tomorrow, and we're talking a big 10 to 15 degree warm up. So tomorrow afternoon in Helena, we start out in the 60s, nice warm afternoon already. By noon, where we're at 75 degrees, and then we're going to hit that 87-degree mark by 4 p.m. Some of us even reaching closer to the 90s, so we'll break down all that warmer weather ahead coming up shortly in our extended forecast.
Thanks, Elizabeth. On the Health Beat tonight, if you have trouble with memory, attention, or even swallowing, or you're struggling to understand your kids when they speak, it might be time for a speech pathology screening. Alluvian Health in Great Falls now offers free speech pathology screenings for individuals of all ages every Friday from 10 to noon. So whether you have a child with speech difficulty or have experienced issues yourself, now's a good time to find out if there's an underlying cause. During these free 15-minute screenings, a clinical speech pathology intern guided by a speech pathologist meets with the patient to assess their speech and communication. The screening isn't limited to a specific age group, but can be beneficial in identifying an issue for further assessment and treatment.
Basically, a screen will just determine whether or not there is maybe an issue that could be solved, and if so, then we'll go through further evaluation. And I screen on speech, sounds, language, so the ability to understand or the ability to express one's ideas.
You can call Alluvian Health to schedule a free screening. If you're unavailable for an appointment during their Friday screenings, they will work with your ability to get you or your child screened.
Hotels are reopening here in Yellowstone National Park. I'm John Shearer, and coming up, how the decision to do that was made and what it means.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 530 News.
Welcome back. The company that operates lodging inside Yellowstone National Park is beginning to open hotel rooms that until now were closed due to COVID-19. MTN's John Shearer reports on why the Park Service is giving the move the thumbs up.
Opening hotel units like these here at Canyon is something of a calculated risk. After all, COVID cases are on the rise around the country and in Montana and Wyoming.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all are concerned when we see spikes, but I think what's important, we don't overreact.
We've also been frequently testing our employee population. Every week we have about 160 employees within Yellowstone tested for COVID-19, and today we've had 0 positive tests come back.
A limited number of rooms are now open at the Lake Hotel. The same is true at the Canyon Lodge and the Old Faithful Snow Lodge. Premium rooms will open at the newly refurbished Mammoth Springs Hotel and in the east wing of the historic Old Faithful Inn. All of that is later this month.
We feel like this is a logical next step. It doesn't commit us too far. We're not wide open, like I said. We still have a lot of facilities closed in the park.
That includes all restaurants. Food service is just grab and go. Some visitor centers remain closed, and only some retail stores are open. Plus, the hotel rooms are different.
So we're eliminating a lot of, common touch surfaces, so things like coffee makers and coffee pots we've taken out of the rooms. We'll have coffee available elsewhere. We have a process where we're rotating blankets out on a daily basis and processing for cleaning, and pillows, the same kind of a situation. So a heightened step of kind of cleaning and sanitation.
With an eye on businesses like the Lake Hotel here and local businesses which depend on the park, Keller and Scholey clearly do not want to backtrack on the opening. But both say they will do so if it's necessary.
But we do have plans with the counties and the states and with our business partners if things, start to make a left turn to pull back on operations.
But that's not what's happening now.
As of this moment, it does not appear that any of the spikes that we've seen here in the last couple of weeks have been necessarily attributed to increased visitation coming into Yellowstone.
And so the gamble here at Old Faithful and throughout the park is that people will be careful and take advantage of Yellowstone's vast spaces to spread out a bit. Plus, listen to the guidelines, such as maintaining distance and wearing a mask. In Yellowstone, John Shearer, MTN News.
The park says it's seeing about the same number of vehicles entering the park right now as at this time last year. Scholey says he thinks there are still fewer people in the park. He says the traffic number is high because more people are staying outside the park and driving through the gates every day.
Warmer weather is on the way for north central and northeast Montana. Showers have moved out. Blue sky remains in our forecast tomorrow. We'll tell you all about it coming up in our extended forecast.
Get great Storm Tracker weather starts now with Chief Meteorologist Elizabeth Copeland.
Hey everyone, welcome back on this Friday evening where we started this morning with a little activity across our area. Some showers and storms skirted by as a disturbance moved through, and that's going to leave us with a few more showers still right now just across the very northeast corner. Some of those strong showers are still pushing off and creating some severe thunderstorm warnings across North and South Dakota, but our chances of storms are going to come to an end here shortly as those storms continue pushing off quickly to the east, and just behind it, dry and clear air as we see out there already in western and north central Montana, where those showers and storms moved through a little earlier this morning. So right now, out of our US Bank ICAM and Great Falls, 74 degrees with, I'd say that was a mostly sunny afternoon, just a cloud here and there. 76 is what it feels like outside, with a little bit of a breeze, about 20-25 mile per hour gusts out there. Otherwise, rain-free for this afternoon, evening, and even rain-free for the weekend as well. So even tracking it out from our future track, right around 7:38, some nice little isolated stronger storms still a possibility for the northeast corner. Otherwise, all that system moves off to the east, Very clear skies in our forecast overnight and waking up early tomorrow morning, which you might want to do because I'll show you why here in just a minute. But early tomorrow morning around 5 a.m., mostly clear, sunny and dry. 11:30 a.m., very same situation. And then it's going to be hot by about 5 p.m. And not only hot, but sunny as well. So we're going to track a big warm up in store for us tomorrow. Great day to get out the grill with some friends. As we track the 60s by 8 a.m., right around lunchtime, that grill comes out, it'll be 78, and then grabbing some extra bottles of water and some sunscreen for the 6 p.m. grill cast, just because we're going to top out in the upper 80s before dropping to the lower 80s by 8 p.m. So it's going to be a warm one out there these next few days. But the important part of tomorrow morning and why it's going to be clear, if you want to get out there, if you're a stargazer or interested in space, Comet Neowise is actually going to be passing by, has been passing by for quite some time now, but on Saturday morning, if you haven't got a chance to see it, it's a good time to do so because of the clear skies. Look to the northeast horizon right around 4 or 5 a.m. So it'll just be bright enough to start seeing some stuff outside, but the sunrise won't have obscured a complete view of the comet as it passes to our northeast. And then by July 12th, that's going to be Sunday, you're going to have to turn your gaze over to the northwest, and that's going to be around dusk after the sun set because of the rotation of the comet around Earth's atmosphere. It's actually just outside of our atmosphere and going to change its orbit around our area. So, instead of the early morning hours, you might want to stay up a little later on the Sunday onward, because if that visibility remains bright, the closest orbit to Earth will be July 22nd. So very exciting stuff there. If you are interested in the comet passing by, a good chance to get out there will be tomorrow morning before not only we see the sun rise, but before the heat really gets to us on Saturday afternoon as we top out at 88 degrees on Saturday. Again, not too many chances of rain in the forecast this weekend either. We hold steady in the 80s, taking a slight drop on Monday to the mid-70s, but that's going to feel pretty nice out there, especially after a very hot day in store for us on Saturday afternoon. And then we're going to hold steady in the mid to upper 70s through next Thursday. Next chances of rain in the forecast come on Friday with just a spotty shower here and there, but otherwise we stay very dry and clear in the capital city as well. 88 on Saturday, 80 on Sunday, and then we're also going to be dropping down to the low to mid 70s on Monday before holding steady in that same weather pattern as we head through the end of next week.
Well, the bats may be silent at Centene, but the ballpark has plenty to offer for fans. How they plan to keep them safe when the news continues.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 530 News.
Well, just because Centene Stadium isn't hosting the Voyagers this summer doesn't mean there aren't any big events planned. Some of those include a movie night and workout classes and even painting classes. But how will they keep individuals safe during the COVID-19 pandemic? A team spokesman says keeping people safe while they enjoy events at the stadium is their #1 priority.
Community, the ability to come on out and have some fun and enjoy some events out here while doing it safely. That's been our utmost important part of this, is to make sure that we can do this safe and safe for the community as well. And so everything we're doing out here, we're making sure that anyone who comes through these doors, it is going to be done in the safest possible way. And being able to give the community something to do this summer is what was behind our decision to do this schedule this year.
Now, tonight's movie night was canceled due to rain in the forecast, but will be rescheduled for next Thursday. The Great Falls Farmers Market might be on hold, but one downtown business is keeping its spirit alive. Pizzazz is hosting a Fresh on 4th event to help with the demand of fresh local produce. The store will have produce and vendors setting up next to their corner market on 403 Central Avenue. The event will be held Saturday from 8 a.m. to noon until August. The store owner said they saw a need and wanted to help.
2 reasons. Because I know a lot of the producers, and they too needed a venue to move some produce. You don't want them sitting on produce when they're used to moving stuff every Saturday. So we wanted to help them. And we also wanted to help downtown retailers have a place, have people milling around downtown and enjoying walking, strolling on a Saturday morning. So
Veronica says they'll shut down the fresh marketplace if the farmers market gets back up and running. We'll be right back.
A very warm weekend in store for us ahead. 88 on Saturday in Great Falls. We hold steady in the 80s on Sunday before dropping slightly below average for the early beginning of next week. We hold steady in the mid to upper 70s. We're still going to track that warm weather for the capital city as well, so grab that water bottle as you head out on Saturday afternoon.
Well, concerns over coronavirus have claimed yet another long-standing tradition in downtown Great Falls. The 2020 Pet and Doll Parade has been canceled. That parade was scheduled for July 23rd. A press release from the city of Great Falls says the decision was made due to concerns with COVID-19 and the safety of participants and spectators. This marks the first time in the 86-year history of the event that it will not take place. The city says it's looking forward to hosting the parade again in 2021. Always a fun time in downtown Great Falls, and we'll hope to see you there next year. And we hope to see you back here tonight at 10. Have a great night.